is the brand new Hulu original film that's coming out today, March 18th, 2022. The film stars Ben Affleck, Ana de Armas, Tracy Letts, Jacob Elordi, Lil Rel Howery, and Finn Wittrock, and tells a story about a husband who allows his wife to have affairs in order to avoid a divorce, but becomes a prime suspect in the disappearance of her multiple lovers. The film is an hour and 55 minutes and is rated R. And is exclusively on Hulu. Welcome back to a brand new movie review here on Max Talks Movies. We're talking deep water. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. It's these types of movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and box office breakdown show every single Monday. So please subscribe, ring the bell if you're new to the channel. Also, please comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. If you've seen the film, let me know. Did you like it, not like it? Tell me why, non-spoiler fashion. If you want to talk spoilers, just leave a spoiler tab and then write spoilers underneath there so we don't affect anyone's viewing of this film. And also, please like the video, guys, the thumbs up button. That's how you support the channel. Let's talk deep water. So I was pretty mixed. I was actually pretty excited for this movie. I've really, even though I'm not the biggest Ben Affleck fan, the last 5 years have been by far the most I've enjoyed of his career. And obviously, Ana de Armas for me is just a total star. If you talk about Knives Out and Blade Runner, and even her little scene in No Time to Die. She is an amazing actress. Great cast. This is also, Sam Levinson is also one of the two screenwriters for the film. Sam Levinson obviously is the creator, director, writer of Euphoria, which is, I guess, the best show for me on TV. So him being a writer on this great talent, and a director who's made Jacob's Ladder, Fatal Attraction, all these different love type of stories. I thought this could actually possibly work out. But let's get into my positives and the negatives. For me, by far, one of the rare positives for me with this movie is Ben Affleck as Vic. He's by far and away the best performance. You really understand. He has a kind of creepy vibe to him, a dark humor, as they say. Including in this film, he kind of jokes that it's played as a joke that he killed one of the people. And everyone is like, half the people think he's kind of really weird by joking about killing someone. And then another people are like, it's kind of suspicious. He's really creepy. Why is that funny? And I think Affleck plays it really perfectly, this movie, the best he can possibly do. He's definitely the most interesting character in the film, definitely compared to the rest of the cast and characters. And he has this dark vibe that you feel really the first scene, and you do uncover, I guess it's not the best solution, but you do understand why he has this kind of vibe about him. He hosts like snails are in his house, and he kind of hosts them as pets. It's very off, and that's how really the whole movie feels, which I do think is the right tone for this type of story. But Ben Affleck's character kind of brings that to the forefront because he's kind of watching. He doesn't want to get divorced from his wife, Melinda, played by Ana de Armas. And he just wants to be married. They have a kid, and he just wants to live his life, but he keeps watching her with these other men, and he just can't contain himself. And he wants to keep this marriage for some reason, even though he's letting this happen. She's having people over in front of him. She's making out with people in front of him, and he's trying to kind of put this together and still, for some reason, fall in love with his own wife and all those different things. His relationship with his daughter, Trixie, played by Grace Jenkins, was really nice. And overall, I thought he was the strongest part by a mile in the entire movie, just because you did want to find out his character motivation throughout the film. You're definitely intrigued by what was kind of motivating him throughout the entire film, and what he was doing, why he acts like this. And I thought they did a good job with that. All the performances are as good as they probably can be. Yeah, obviously, I think Affleck far and away is pretty much untouchable compared to the other performances in the film. But still, as I said earlier, I'm a huge Ana de Armas fan. Nice to see her in this film. This is definitely one of probably the weakest character I've ever seen of hers. We'll get to that in a sec. Tracy Letts is very solid in his little role. I'm a huge, talk about Euphoria. Jacob Elordi is in this movie for one of Melinda's love interests. He's good and just doesn't get a lot to even say in the film, as does Finn Wittrock. And then Lil Rel as Affleck's friend also does a fine job. I thought he would be like a comedic relief, but he's not trying to be funny at all. So kind of a miscast, I would say. But let's get to, I'm trying to walk around the negatives while I'm talking about my positives, but I can't because I got to talk about negatives. I just really did not like this movie. And not just because it's a dark, romantic, and this film at times just doesn't know what it wants to be. Sometimes it wants to be like this erotic thriller, which I thought it was going to be, but it was absolutely not. Yes, there's maybe one or two sex scenes in the film, but other than that, it's really just, I mean, for being rated R, obviously there's nudity and there's sex and stuff, but it's not to that point of degree like other movies you've seen like with erotic thrillers. And the reason why this movie really doesn't work is that there's just no one you're rooting for the whole time. There's no likable character. Once they introduce two main characters, there's not even a glimmer of a good person in any of the characters of these main two characters in the film. They do have good romantic chemistry with each other, but first of all, I feel so bad for Ana de Armas because she is thrown into this role and it's a awful character. I mean, the first scene, you already hate her 10 times more than Affleck. And I don't think that's kind of the point of the movie. She's quickly unlikable the first time you see her. I would say like around the hour mark of the film, you really don't like Ben Affleck's character. And then you find yourself just not rooting for anyone, which makes you not care for the story. I'm perfectly cool with a movie that you don't has a character that you're not rooting for, but you're still intrigued to see, but there's just too many unlikable characters. There's just not a glimmer of hope in this movie for anyone. And it's just tough to get on board. It's one of the most boring movie experiences I've had so far in 2022 because the first hour, it feels like nothing happens. This is one of the most repetitive movies I've also seen in a long time, where it feels like they do this one subplot with Ana de Armas and one lover, that gets finished. The next 30 minutes is another subplot with another lover, and then it just keeps going. And that's like the entire runtime, which was so like the first 30, 45 minutes is just one person. Then it goes over to Jacob Elordi. Then it goes over to Finn Wittrock. And like, Jesus, can we just focus on, is there any other type of story that can be found in here? And it really is the script that is the big issue, which is a repetitive, sadly lazy script from a writer in Sam Levinson, who one of my favorite people working today, obviously because of Euphoria, but also I really liked Malcolm and Marie more than most people, it seemed like. So it's disappointing that his name's on this as a screenplay writer because it's a really bad script from start to finish. There's no likable character. They throw you under the bus of Ana de Armas's character really quickly. And the only thing she does the whole movie is either yell at Ben Affleck's character or seducing or falling in love with another lover. Like that's all she does the whole movie. There's not a glimmer of someone who you'd think is a nice person in her character. Tracy Letts, who's even trying to figure out and believes Affleck is the one who's been killing the lovers, he also is just not a great person as well. I don't buy the Ben Affleck Lil Rel friendship whatsoever. They just seem like forced scenes for Affleck to show he has a little bit of a human side to him. And then the lovers themselves just don't have a big even dialogue. As I said, Jacob Elordi has nothing to do in this movie other than just hang around some of the same scenes as Ana de Armas and Ben Affleck. Same to say with Finn Wittrock, was more to do than Elordi, but still not enough because you just don't care about any of the lovers because they just focus seemingly on Affleck being pissed off that his wife's having these affairs. And it just doesn't work whatsoever. So even though I love this cast and I love this screenwriter, this is a really poor script that does not help these actors whatsoever. There's no likable character. It's a boring experience that I just wanted to end. So I'm going to give Deep Water a 1.5 out of 5. I am going to go 33% for Deep Water. Just did not enjoy myself watching this movie. I'll just go 30%. Let's go 30% for Deep Water. I wanted a lot more out of this movie, especially with this cast, but does not deliver. So that's my thoughts on Deep Water. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell. More videos coming online, including my box office breakdown show on Monday. Raised by Wolves season 2 spoiler review will be coming out on Monday, giving you guys the weekend to finish that show. And then some other movie reviews. I'm seeing The Lost City next week. So plenty of reviews coming. I'll see you guys soon.